Hi, friends. Happy, what the heck? All this Pisces energy, y'all. Happy, what day is it? Like I didn't set this huge intention to come on and wish you, almost happy end of leap month in this leap year, all this Pisces energy. I came on, you guys, to say, well, I got to check in since the full moon. How are we doing? The full moon in Virgo has a tendency to kind of come in and get you together. It's like your mom came in and told you to clean up your room. You know what I'm talking about? That's the full moon in Virgo and Pisces season. It's like you slept in, the videos I'm talking about, guys, and like the mom comes in for no good reason and is like walking around the room and you're like, what? And she's like, that's full moon in Virgo. So I hope you guys are doing well on this beautiful Wednesday. We're going to shuffle. Can we even talk? Like, are we that out of it in this Pisces energy? Yes, anyway, happy Sun-Saturn conjunction day. Happy, let's say happy exam day, happy exit day. Yeah, we're working towards closing the zodiac wheel. Excuse me. And we get this what the heck? Y'all bear with me. I really do struggle in Pisces season. We get this energy of the full moon in Virgo in Pisces season before we come upon the Sun-Saturn conjunct. And mind you, we also have Mercury in the mix with that this year in this conjunction. So it's kind of like a moment for a lot of clarity. And of course, you can set the intention today, for, hey, the light codes are in there. I know that the seeds are planted. I know I've been doing my work. Pisces season kind of has us feeling encouraged to just go with the ebb and flow. The universe has my back, and then this sun conjunct Saturn energy kind of comes in. And it's like, I love that one astrologer I was reading, she kind of painted this picture and she was like, it's when you're getting ready to leave the class for the year, right? It's giving like big graduation energy. And it's like, all right, class, this is our exit exam, let's, it has a way, as does, right? So imagine the full moon in Virgo came ahead to kind of help you prepare to study. To clean off your desk, so to speak, or clean out the room, so to speak, or spiritual up in the crown chakra, in the third eye, in the mental body. All right, let's clean up. Okay, it's the emotional body. Are we looking at as well? Do we have some leaky auras? Remember we were talking about that full moon in Virgo? Yeah, and then it's like a preparatory, because we are closing out the zodiac wheel in Pisces season. Also on the wheel of the year, we are, woo. She look at Pisces said, oh, hi. Knight of Cups energy, because sometimes in Pisces season, we can kind of be super dreamy. And it is, it kind of is that. We have to be careful in Pisces season because, we really have some massively powerful shifts going on when the zodiac wheel is coming to a close. So whereas the Knight of Cups can say, I'm ready to, Spirit is saying, like, take the cup of my dream, or take the cup of my creative muse, my inspiration, take the cup of maybe spiritual renewal that I'm receiving. What am I receiving through my crown chakra? What have I been receiving in my vision work? I'm ready to take that cup. And so Saturn conjunct the sun, again, remember, with Mercury. So we're receiving that extra illumination in the thought body. Saturn conjunct the sun will come in and say, I absolutely love this cup that you're holding up to the universe. Yes, Pisces season longs to think of Ace of Cups as well. Spirit, your ancestors and guides long to continue to flow into that cup so you can, what would you say, multiply that out into the spring equinox season, right? Whatever that is for you. With you doing your own personal work, you would, y'all know I'm going to be putting some oil on. You would ideally have done the vision work, have done your, as we would say, your winter work. And, your journaling, your meditation, your whatever it is, you doing also working with the shadow, understanding, processing, and integrating the contrast. So now, right? Now, Sun conjunct Saturn, ideally, this is what we say, right? This is like saying you came to the test and you knew that you had studied. And Saturn's like, because mind you, Saturn is in Pisces. Remember, we've been talking about, since the beginning of 2023, we've been talking about Saturn is really excited, like a dad who wants to pass the inheritance, the keys, you're sitting in the Akashics at the table with your ancestors. Are super excited. Oh my gosh, you're going to receive X, Y, and Z on your timeline, on your ascension and your vibration of frequency, on your really huge level up of spiritual healing, of creative muse inspiration of your gifts, of this relationship that is so time for you to, this could be just a confirmation that someone's ready to receive a relationship. Mind you, doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, I've been calling in a soulmate. I've been calling in my soul tribe. I've been calling in my besties. And we're all, spiritually about to ride out and do the things because our cups have been filled, with vision, with vigor, with creative muse, with... this is not a Knight of Wands, so this could be more so in Pisces season. Your cup has been filled with, you're thinking divine feminine energy. You've been reconnected back to the oneness of source. You've received, maybe you would say through the crown, right, into your third eye. My vision feels renewed. Do you know what I mean? And then, if we were seeing like a Knight of Wands out on the table, that would be more like, woo, it's spring equinox. Now let's store that cup in our heart space and in our heart chakra, and let's go forward and create and do and plan and, live joyfully with what's been put into our cups, right? So Sun conjunct Saturn, you know what? Hear me out. It's kind of wild, right? Because we have Pluto in Aquarius. And it's not full on, remember, yes, we have Pluto in Aquarius. We will circle back around and Pluto will hit Capricorn in the retrograde later in the fall. So we'll have some time to kind of come back and take a little bit of notes about, what's been removed, what's been resettled. As we, like I said, have played, we will have played Pluto pinball throughout the year, and our ancestors will help us. We'll have that coming to help us in the fall. I like to view that Pluto going back into retrograde into Capricorn is like your ancestors saying, come on, sit down in this space one more time with us. We'll meet here. We'll take notes. And we'll zip you back up into your spaceship. Boom, Pluto in Aquarius for 2 decades, right? But it's a very interesting energy. You may feel as the zodiac wheel comes to a close, it is very much like, if you can imagine with me, what's on the bottom of the deck? The Knight of Swords. The King of Swords. Yeah. It's just mental clarity, making sharp choices. Interesting. We have a king with the swords, but we have a knight with the cups. That's because we want a little bit of that youngness, a little bit of that flow to come through. But with the King of Swords, he's going to help us Sun conjunct Saturn with Mercury there as well. Yes, it's very King of Swords. Be clear on your thinking. Be clear on your choices, because you are so powerful that what you think you create. So you have to be very clear with that, as well as energetic boundaries in the mental body. Spirit is saying, protect the mind, protect who speaks over the seeds that have been planted in your mind. Be very sharp. Be very sharp and discerning with your wisdom that you've gained up to this point with the King of Swords on the bottom of this deck. But yeah, it can be very interesting, because I was going to say, imagine the wheel in the tarot deck, right? And we have this very interesting point, Sun conjunct Saturn in the year, and especially it feels powerful. It feels quicksilver. It feels everything may feel right now fast, because please just remember, in the backdrop of everything, that we're in a leap year and that we're in a leap month. So literally, not only on your Gregorian calendar is it's like, gosh, is this happening sooner? Am I crazy? Like, are we, where did February, no, February literally went by faster on the calendar, date wise, so that's going to affect your mental perception, but literally the movement of time. And it's almost like Saturn in Pisces Spirit is saying slippery. And it takes me back to how we would talk about the Fool and him trying to get his feet under him and learn to swim on the wave. With Saturn in Pisces, he's ready to jump to that next timeline, to start. We started at 0 with the Fool. Let's say maybe you were on tier 21, and now you've jumped because of all the work, because of all the healing, because of all the transmuting and the integration, because of how much you love yourself and you see your true worth and value, right? Let's say you've been doing the work in whatever that way that looks to you. Now you're offering the cup is being filled, you're ready to swim, right? Like let's say we're gonna giddy up. Southeast people. Giddy up. We're gonna hop on up. We want to ride on timeline 25. Okay, so we're ready to get up there. And it just feels slippery, I think, with Saturn in Pisces. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. We got Pluto and Aquarius playing Pluto pinball. So it's like the wheel is turning. And you ideally want to have been doing the work, which looks like cutting the cords off of old timelines. So imagine let's imagine revolutions on a wheel in a cycle, right? And you're like, is this going to be the time I slingshot? Is this going to be the time, right? And so each time maybe you haven't been quite ready to slingshot. So Spirit is showing me it's like a leap year is like a slingshot year. And it's compiled of the work that you've done, the experiences you've been able to transmute and alchemize up into this point. And it's not to say, I've been going through, I'm making like robot arms you can't see. I've been going through multiple years so perfectly, and I have executed everything on the plan. That's not, ooh, y'all, I don't have my eye on. I mean, I do have one tatted on my arm, so she always there, but child, I realize I have my eye on. You will have to ask me if you're ever curious about who makes all my bracelets, because that's my beautiful sister friend, Yvonne. But, Spirit is showing me like a slingshot. Imagine the wheel tarot card. And, excuse me, it's like, okay, it would be like your dad or your coach pushing you enough to be uncomfortable so you can hit that timing just right. It's like learning how to, I played softball for a couple of years, and soccer as well. I love my sports, but learning how to time the kick in soccer, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to swing the bat in softball, just because, boom, you are going to connect in a moment. And those moments are so freaking, like, heightened. Not only is it a leap year, it is also a year of the dragon, the wood dragon, of course. It is also year of the lions and the strength card, the year of 8. And mind you, remember we talked about 7 plus 1, the magician card plus the chariot card equals 8. So if that's not channeling gas from the universe to fuel up your motorcycle, your Merkaba, to ride on up and be slingshotted to a different timeline, like, I don't know what is. Right? And what's crazy is, I mean, yes, are we all going to, quote unquote, ace a test if we study very hard? Yes. But here's what also happens is, if you think of this, Sun conjunct Saturn with Mercury, it is very much, we can't wait to reward the student who studied. But guys, how you have two different students, okay? Shout out to my people who now have a lot of complex shit going on because you were always an honor student in school. Y'all, I read a meme and it roasted me, and it was like, oh, were you on the honors program and as a 90 or whatever kid, and now you have ADHD and high functioning procrastination and you're probably on a spiritual journey. I was like, dang. You have to roast us like that. Listen, it's like the student who really had a tough home setting, who really was just given a shitty dealt hand, but who continually alchemized, who kept showing up. The kid who wanted to play the sport, who would sleep in the X, Y, and Z and not even have some ratty ass sneakers, but damn, they would show up. And whatever the universe was showing that kid who really wanted to play or who really wanted to make the A's, because they absolutely weren't taking no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? It's that level of spirit. Now, we need both students. You know what I'm saying? We need the student who will adamantly study, and what is it giving? Like very Hermione, right? But Hermione also needed Harry Potter, and it's not that Harry Potter was always, that neither was any less. And Saturn in Pisces wants to reward both of those spirits in an elevation of timeline. You know what I'm saying? And they do need each other. But I'm just saying that it's like Saturn in Pisces with Pluto moving into Aquarius, is like we have been preparing you. You've been alchemizing. You've been, yes, I know at times it feels like maybe you're the student who's like, y'all ain't have to give me material on top of material while I was still breaking down the failed test of the last material so I could pass the test. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about y'all, but that was me since fall of 2020. Child, we could take it back even a decade before that. I mean, I'm not saying I had some more quieter cycles there, but it's like we hit 2020. 2012 was like that for me, like, whoa, right? And then 2020, I know, I get it. I get the timeline. It makes sense. But I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I had a couple years like that. And it was just like, yeah, cool. All right. Thank you so much. Let me digest that. No, listen. Okay. While you're in the middle of that dark night of understanding the contrast and alchemizing, we're going to pour a little bit more onto it. And you're like, I can only study so much, Saturn, right? We had that interesting dance with the Saturn and Aquarius energy. Woo, listen. But I feel like now Saturn is coming to conjunct the sun today, and it's really beautiful. It's like, I don't know why and I'll have to think about this later, but I'm seeing like Harry Potter when he first finds the stone. You know what I'm talking about? And he didn't even really know it was a test the whole time. And then Saturn's like, oh my gosh, you passed your exit exam. You have no idea of everything you're about to inherit. Also of how much more is to come on these timelines. You know what I mean? If you told Harry like what he may end up growing into, he would have been like, you got to be fucking kidding me. But if you told him everything he might, well, knowing Harry, he would have done it anyway. You know what I mean? I guess Spirit's just talking to us in Harry Potter today, but he like, oh yeah, I'm about to say it. Haters gonna hate. Imagine Twilight, right? Imagine if, they would have been like, Bella could have skipped to the end and saw what kind of family she was going to have. But then if you would have shown her everything that was really going to go down, she might have been like, nah, you know what? Shit, I'm good. But we don't inherit things like that. That's like we're hearing a lot of messages in the collective right now. If you listen, you tend to flip through the pages of the Akashics, right? And you have your readers and your astrologists and beautiful channelers that you listen to, right? You'll pick up on it. It is divine inheritance being downloaded, activated into the ascending DNA structures, into the ascending light bodies, and these are coming down. There's so much integration happening. And what's wild is you don't get told and then get to choose if you want to receive it. You've went through some crazy ass shit, some really tough stuff, some really dark contrasts, some really challenging sacrifices, Spirit is saying, to get to the place where you're kind of, humbly, now he's kind of got his head down, like he's not going to look upon the face of all of the ancestors and the divine great spirit who's filling his cup up, but he's thankful to be here. You know what I mean? Because he's ready to go. Shoot me up. I'm Saturn in Pisces. Let me swim on timeline number 25. I really fucking think I've earned it at this point. So again, imagine Pluto, Lord of the Underworld, being at the bottom weight of the wheel, right? And Saturn holding the keys at the top, right? This is the energy that we're in right now. And it's like we were talking about slingshotting. We've been working on weighting down to the bottom, rounding back to the top. We've been doing these revolutions around these cycles. And each time, if you're able to understand your experience of contrast and cut the cord because you integrate another level of self-worth and value and realize you're a divine sovereign being, and then you also realize that you need to cut more cords, we can say energetically, spiritually, emotionally, whatever. Sometimes that looks like people, places, things, old versions of ourself, insert as you will on your own individual journey. So the more times you go, remember, we're thinking about the wheel tarot card, right? The goddess Fortuna, throw the dice again, It's also very Chiron and Aries. You keep dipping down and then coming back up like the lotus flower and locking in more sacred geometry, more light codes when you receive and you come out of the other side. And it's almost like each time your ancestors, guides, spirit, and it's you with you. Because you have free will. You don't have to cut cords, each time. It's like, it makes me think of the Norns, right? So this is a slingshot year where it's like you have the potential to come up from the bottom of that wheel, Pluto and Aquarius. We've been talking about playing Pluto pinball, to be so alleviated from things through all of this experience of the last couple years that you can just... Saturn's like, all right, you ready? What is the video where the people ride the rides and they pull that chair back and they're getting ready to be slingshotted? And they got that camera on them, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all, I would pass the fuck out. I'm going to tell you right now, I would pass out. But it's like, oh, wow. Spirit, that's a lot of cars. That's like 10 cars, all right now. It's very much like... it's time for you to slingshot. Slingshot, I see it so clearly around the wheel of the year. See, here's what can happen though sometimes is we can get, what would we say, lost in the sauce. And it's very Piscean. It's very like, oh my God, like, what if when they slingshot me and I land and I can't and I'm not ready, or like, man, what if I completely just fucking fall off the ride and fuck it up? I don't know. I mean, like, what if, like, really I could just go and be comfortable, or like maybe I'll just bury my head. We're not shadow Pisceing this. What we're doing as we are getting ready, because we've done the cord cutting work, we've done the integration, we've done the transmutation. We are in the alchemist seat. And do you know what that looks like? Riding on a fucking Merkaba in a leap year, getting ready to be in the slingshot seat. And everybody's like, oh, yes, all these messages about receiving my divine inheritance. Yes, yes, I've been integrating my keys, right? Chiron and Aries energy helping us get those keys down into the heart space. Maybe it looks like key glyphs to you. Maybe it looks like runes or sigils. Maybe it looks like sacred geometry, tiny yod flames falling from the sky. We have that in us now. So it's like Spirit has just been whoop, whoop. All right, y'all ready to hit this revolution, because you don't have the strings that you used to have holding you. And you're about to get slingshotted. I don't know. Up past multiple timelines to ride a whole new wave. You know what I'm saying? And that's all Saturn all day. What is it? Carpe diem. Carpe diem. All day. And again, at the bottom of that wheel, Pluto in Aquarius is like, your backup defense player looking out for you. Oh, don't worry. You just go on ahead and strap in. You just go ahead and get in that high vibrational Pisces energy. When we get ready to start this new wheel of the year, you're going to slingshot out there. And who would be the first to ride it? Aries. Aries would be like, yeah, maybe screaming the whole time, crying a little bit. But Aries would be gung-ho to get out there. And, carpe diem. So, we need the high vibrational Pisces energy that says, I don't care. You know what? Yeah, hell yeah, I'm scared as fuck. Strap me in. This is a dream. We're all just in a dream. Let's go ahead and ride the ride. I mean, can I say that I know everything's going to happen? No, but the universe is always working out for me. I am always looking to experience a new adventure full of wonder. After all, that's what a divine spirit being in a human body is here to do anyway, isn't it? Let's go ahead and slingshot, because who knows when we'll get another chance to, is like hacking a cheat code in Mario. I don't know the next level that we'll be able to do the hack again. So if we can get it now, let's go ahead and get that star or that mushroom. Let's hit it, right? Let's go ahead and yeet up like 4 levels if we have access to that, right? That's us. We're holding our cup out and we're like, go ahead, hit me with it. You know what? I want to romanticize and understand and see the beauty. My cup is the cup of fullness and oneness of divine source. So, let's go, fill it up. So if we can let that Piscean energy and the beautiful high vibrational frequency inhabit our spirits and our heart chakras, we can go. Pluto in Aquarius got our back. Okay. Pluto in Aquarius has got our back to, play defense. Remember, Pluto pinball is going to be hitting and moving around and shuffling things where our foundations are not solid, or where some past version of ourselves or a person or something we need to see and something that needs to die off. It's like Pluto moving around behind us is the way I see it, is like the one that continues cutting the string so that we don't miss our slingshot in this revolution. That's really how I'm seeing it. And it's like Saturn in Pisces, with all this Pisces energy, Pisces closing out the zodiac wheel and this being a leap year. Saturn is kind of saying to us, like, hear me out. You passed the exit exam. When I slingshot you, you're going to feel like a little bit of nausea. Maybe you're going to feel pretty fucking liminal between the timelines. You don't just hold on. Like, don't pass out on me. Close your eyes if you need to. So the remainder of Pisces season, I feel like, is going to kind of be, holy shit, like, am I in the void or am I out of the void? Like, what is this beyond the veil? What is this threshold? What is it? Where have you shot me? And Saturn, you know what it makes me think of? Spirit is showing me when I was trying to learn to drive a straight with my stepdad. And you don't know, like, you trying to learn how to feel the clutch out. And you're like, I don't know. It's like the longest pause of your life when you're first learning, but it's really very short. feels much like that, doesn't it? And you're like, am I about to grind the fuck out of these gears or not? So it's that moment where you're like, and then go up, you start catching the clutch on them, and then you realize you're driving in a whole different gear. Okay, so we kind of feel like, shit, I don't know, moving so fast, but it's fleeting, or feel like, I feel very liminal, but at times I feel like I can't hold my breath underwater. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's in between. Now, I will say that we get these moments around the wheel of the year, around the zodiac wheel every single time. Because if you look at the wheel of the year and the beautiful wisdom of the nature of Gaia, and the deck gonna be salty with me now. She said, you don't want 10 cards? I will give you 0 cards. No. It's like every time. Oh, I was going to say about the wheel of the year. When we're in Imbolc season and we're wrapping up Imbolc season and we're getting ready to prepare to go towards spring equinox, to go towards Ostara, in the season of Eostra and everything like this, right? What's happening is a grand thaw. A grand thaw. And the water is melting. And that's what Pisces season at the end of the zodiac wheel feels like every year, intentionally so. Because we need the water to melt and disperse back into the land. We need this detoxing, recycling type of phase. We need the thaw. We need, because it is very replenishing at the same time. And it's just very fascinating to consider Pisces season with the metaphor of like a big thaw so that the sprouts can come up through the soil in the beginning of spring, right? So we have this cycle, this closing, this melting, this detox to support the potential of everything that's going to come through anew. But it's so amplified this year because it is a leap year. Because of the movement of Pluto into Aquarius. It's like you have so much additional help to really shift some shit. I'm telling you what, you better be careful with these intentions that you've set, with this vision work that you've been doing. If you ain't been fucking around, if you ain't been playing around, you've been doing the work. It's like a Midas touch type of year. And it's beautiful if you can embrace the courage and the bravery of the Strength card, which again is actually about ebb and flow. It's about, all of the power and the strength isn't found in the roar, but it's found through like serenity, through calm, courageous calm, peaceful presence, which is very powerful. It's very like, the dove and the snake, the snake in the garden is better to be what is it? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than be a garden in a war, or something like that. It's very much this energy. And if you've been doing the work, man, I'm telling you, man, we might fuck around this year and get a perspective to where we understand that we are so ridiculously powerful and being divine sovereign beings walking in this human form. It's also such a level of a year that in a leap year, when Saturn is doing the work and we are closing out cycles and passing exams, when the sun conjunct Saturn, is very much a year where it's kind of like you're protected in a beautiful space of the in-between. But I will say, woe unto people who are past due on their checks. You know what I'm saying? Woe unto people who have been the heavy stones that have been carried in the other one's backpacks. You know what I'm saying? Woe unto people who have been riding other people's waves. Because it's like karma tsunami time. You know what I mean? And we don't even worry about that over here because our ancestors, our team and higher spirit and everything. We wish everyone well. We wish them healing from a distance. We wish everyone to find more healed, more genuine, more whole and powerful version of themselves. Okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, like, I can't speak on what my ancestors are going to be doing. I can't speak on the way that the Larma is going to be a new word, y'all. Law of karma. We're going to call it Larma. The law of karma. The law of don't get me started. All right. This is the type of year, though, where, what is it they say? There are times in your life where you're elevated to such a place that you get blessings just poured on your head right in the daggum face of your enemies. You know what I mean? And the best way, I think it is going to be a tough year for people who are filled with kind of like backbiting spirits, entities, low stagnant vibrational frequencies. I feel a lot of sadness for them, although I wish them well from a distance. And my ancestors are going to do what they see fit and best, because I don't see on the same panoramic view that they see all the time. I think it could really be a year and a season of desperation for a lot of people who, and they've had time, Spirit is saying, you know, they've had time. And it's like hanging on the coattails, riding off the back of the waves. Y'all already know, because I've talked about it before, trying to put y'all stones in my backpack. It's not no more time for that, because a lot of people who are of a certain frequency, who are of a certain, a lot of people are going to get slingshotted to massively different timelines. And it's going to be a point, I've already talked about this before too. You kind of, Sun conjunct Saturn, right, with Mercury, you turn around and look and you be like, damn, there's only 3 people left in this class. It's like Survivor. Whoa, did all these people really fall off the timeline? Yeah, they did. And the way that looks is when it continues to be cold, wheat from the chaff, okay? That's how it is looking the more times you go through, you know. Happy Sun Saturn conjunction, right? Happy exam day. So excited. Looks like you've all passed the grade. You've all been doing the work. It gives very much that feeling, but you do kind of look around. What was it I was reading? Somebody was saying, like a sickle, you know, like death. I was reading something anyway, guys, and they were relating this energy to, like, because Saturn's going to remain in Pisces until next year. So as we are up here, let's say on wave level 25, right? What's going to happen is that the death card is going to go on through and do the work it's got to do. Because what you got to do to a garden, what do you have to do to a plant? There's pruning work that has to be done. Y'all weeds ain't about to stay up here choking the growth out, because the growth is what is going to elevate and help the collective ascend. And we understand and see the difference through the contrast of the energy. All right. And not only is this year a year of 8s, a year of the strength card, this year is also very much a scorpionic year of the 8th house. So that's like Mr. Death and Daddy Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Team Pluto and Aquarius. Remember how I told you full moon was like a doctor shining the light? Okay, hello. Let's knock on the door of your 8th house. Would love to. It's time for, what is it like you get, what is it like a pop, Spirit is saying? It's like a drug test getting popped on them. Y'all, it's like if you ever worked in any type of corporate world and you had a pop visit from your corporate peeps. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in the corporate world. I used to work for a paper company, and you would get pop inspections from these certifications. But you know what I'm talking about. You're at your job. Oh, it's pop test time. What's up? Yeah, we're just here to inspect your 8th house today. You know, it's Death holding his, what do you call it? A sickle, a scythe? Am I saying that right? But you get the picture, right? Pluto, Death. Hey, coming in to do mandatory unexpected inspections on your 8th house. Looks like your 8th house is still full of snakes who haven't not been transmuted. Looks like your swamp really hasn't been dredged like we were hoping you would dredge it. And, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. You guys, what's your 8th house? Hello, check in on the 8th house. Check in on the 8th house. What's it looking like? Have you been, did you work with your Black Moon and Lilith last year? Remember at the end of the summer, we were doing all that. It was, I made those Lilith candles, and we were working with understanding, you know, how Lilith will transform into the monster to go into your heart chakra, to hold the hand of your little girl, boy, they, them, you know what I'm saying, your little inner child, and say, hey, we going to do this 8th house work today, because we ain't going to keep ourselves heavy in the basement. Because come next year, it's going to be slingshot time. We're on the slingshot track, right? We're on the progressive slingshot track, okay? Our 8th house is not going to be able to go on like this. Woo, child. I feel like a lot of people, Spirit is saying a lot of people may have been in heavy 8th house work. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to, I do astrology readings, one-on-one work, natal charts and everything. Be happy to, if you want to say, what the hell are you talking about? We can look at your north and south node. We can look at your Chiron. It's wonderful to look at your Black Moon Lilith placement and understand what you have in your 8th house. Oh, yes. Listen. In different decks, if you work with cards, whether professionally, consistently or not, you understand in different decks, different cards mean different stuff to you. And yes, this is a Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is the messenger of the mind. So spirit messages in the liminal space will be much louder, especially with Saturn in Pisces, especially Neptune in Pisces, especially with Pluto moving around in Aquarius. Remember, we're in a liminal space towards the end of Pisces season. We're kind of floating. And when we're out there, it's almost like, why am I hearing airbender? It's almost like you're able to kind of imagine your, oh, you guys, what the fuck? What is Spirit showing me? It's a ride you used to get in, and you would have your arms and legs, and you'd be like spinning around in all different directions. You know what I'm talking about? Like an anti-gravity ride. I can't ride those. I have very bad vertigo, and they fuck me up. But listen, that ride, it's like you're in that, but it's in your Merkaba, and you're kind of suspended. So this is coming through really quickly, like Spirit. Page of Swords is a messenger to the mental body through the crown chakra. Remember, Mercury has joined us in our Sun conjunct Saturn this year. So just listen, whoever this is for. You may hear very loud spiritual messages from your ancestors, your guides, your team, and higher self. You know what I mean? Your divine team, however you view that. Angels, spirit guides, animal messages, whatever. Listen to the song, you're in my heart. Y'all, how does it go? Sun, dun, 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 dun. I can't remember all the words, y'all, but I heard listen, right? Okay. So that, but what I was going to say, Spirit had paused me to let someone know we need to be listening, and that's in meditation, that's in nature, that's in a spiritual salt bath, however you do you, automatic writing in your journal, writing down your dreams. Listen. Linda, listen. Me and my friends say that shit all the time. But let me tell you what else. In this pre-Raphaelite Tarot, this is the card that is a big significator of me of cutting strings, cord cutting, the angels, the guides, the ancestors coming through so heavily, swooping the swords on people, okay? Because you're not going to miss this jump. You're not going to miss this jump. And this is almost like, girl, you know, boy, them, they, friend, soul family member, listen to me. You've done such good work in your alchemy, in your transmutation, in your shadow, that they could not touch you with a 10-foot pole. Why am I hearing Mr. Grinch? What is it? Something, a 39.5-foot pole. I'm hearing da-na-na-na-na-na. That's because they're going to be trying to steal your gifts. Child, they can't. Your ancestors, your angelic team, your spirit guides, your team and higher self swooping around you with such a quickness while you're in your anti-gravity Merkaba, just slicing and dicing. Y'all, don't worry about it. Do not worry. But you just go in your liminal space. You hold that cup up. You get your replenishment. You get your reconnection to source. It's a spell going on right now. It's almost like even I feel, even into the end of this week, whoa, if you can just go into meditation, even if you just set the intention to walk in nature and say, Spirit, for the highest and best good of all, including myself, I choose. I am now walking forward in the highest timeline that's available to me. Anything that would seek to harm, distract me, or keep me from my highest and best good, my highest and best blessing, my highest and best level of abundance, move it out of the way. And so it is. Boom! The way that your intentions are going to amplify over the next couple of days. Woo! If you were at my mini event too, I'm so excited. I'm having another event with some friends this weekend. If you're receiving tools, I made this, spiritual whitewash water. I just made all these tools like bath tools, sprays, candles to prepare us to work with this energy. So I'm super pumped. Soaking is like a big energy. Soaking, if you can put your feet in preferably free-flowing body, living water, creek beds, rivers, a lake is great. If you speak intentions into the water in your bath, I don't even care if all you can do is if all you can do is get a glass of water, you got a clear crystal quartz, or even if you just have some sea salt, speak intention into that water and drink it. Any way that you can work with water, especially this week, because the amplification of energy is so ridiculous. Any way that you can do that, do that. And feel free to message me or we can work together. I make all kinds of custom tools. I do one-on-one work with readings. Let me know how I can help. I'm glad to help. You can also visit my website or find me on, Facebook business page and Instagram. So we are exactly where we need to be. Okay, so soak in that. All right. And I really don't feel the need to shuffle anymore. Oh my goodness gracious. It has been 46 minutes. Are you kidding me? So I have custom orders to work on, lots of packages to ship today. Happy to do so. Thankful, blessed, full of gratitude. But yeah, happy leap year. Happy who the fuck cares about time. We are slingshotting. Happy Sun conjunct Saturn. Take advantage of this energy, please. And understand that is not some crazy magical mark that you have to meet. You've already been doing it. The seeds have already been sowed. You've already incorporated so much. You may also find yourself at a place where you're like, I'm just vibing in it. Because I know where I'm going, because I know what I've been called to do, because I see the vision. If that's the case too, I love that. Continue to work with your affirmations and write down your goals. Child, if you do ritual, if you have my candle, if you do candle work, if you do bath work, I don't know what you do, but do it this week. Because holy shit, like it will multiply not only throughout the year, but over the next 4 years. So I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so. I'm super excited to pass 200 people. And I'm thinking about doing a giveaway when we get there. But yes, love you guys and appreciate you. This is a really exciting week and I hope you take advantage of it. Okay. I look forward to checking in with you soon. Bye guys. Have a great day.